All right, second part of this practice is going to be drawing a cup. It can be a mug, it can be a plastic cup, it can be a glass, it can be whatever you want it to be. So we're going to practice drawing ellipses. And the reason that we're going to do that is that we're about to go in the face, and the face actually has a lot of circly things on it. So we want to make sure that we have practice with it. So if you notice right now, I've got a cup. I'm having it so that the opening of the cup is directly at you. And what happens to spheres as they move back into space, not spheres, ellipses, as they move back into space, is that the ellipse starts to shrink, right? So when you have it looking directly down the way you are right now, that is a circle. But as soon as I pick up the cup and I start to tilt it in space, right, that starts to become an ellipse, right? So it's no longer a full circle. It's now fatter in one part and smooth, and it's getting drawn out, right? So also, if you notice, as I tip the cup, I start to see the bottom of the cup too. So two things are happening, right? So this ellipse at the top, right, our friend here, right, notice that it changes as I move it. We know in our heads, right, that it's still a circle, but as it moves in space, it actually no longer looks like a circle. So we have the top, and then we also have our friend here on the bottom, right? So and as I move this cup in space, this ellipse right here along the top is getting wider, right? It's pretty fat. It's like a circle, and it says a fat ellipse. And then as we go, it becomes a thinner and thinner ellipse. But notice, before going too much, that this and this have a relationship, all right? So you have to always look at whatever your curve at the top here and your curve at the bottom, they're usually very similar. So you want to make sure that your curve at the bottom and your curve at the top feel like they go together. When you're first learning to draw, this at the bottom, people like to flatten it out. So if you look at drawings from when you were a kid, you'll notice that the bottom is flat. It's not really flat, right? Especially if I compare it to my pencil, right? And if I also compare the top to a straight line, that also helps you to see the ellipse as it moves in space. And then it's going to tilt, 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 tilt. And then there's going to be a point in time where you hold the pencil up to it and you're like, oh, it's almost a straight line. Let's see if I can make that happen. Or it's a straight line at the top and then it curves very, very lightly over on the edge. But so when you get to like the full side view, right, you can look at your pencil and see that part of it is completely flat. And that instead of it being a curved shape anymore, it's a line, right? It's not a straight line. It's a curved line, but it's a line. Versus if I compare it to here, that's not a line. Line, circle, line, circle. All right, so if you notice, as we move in space, right, we get more and more of that elongated ellipse. All right, so